all of a sudden, Mitt Romney's back. He wins CPAC, he wins Maine caucus over the weekend, and everybody's buzzing. Here comes Romney. Well, we'll find out if that's really the case. First of all, CPAC straw poll results. Romney wins 38-31 over Rick Santorum. Gingrich is down at 15%, and Ron Paul is at 12%. So now, Ron Paul often wins these things. What happened? And we had done many pieces here on the Young Turks. David Schuster covered it for us for the television show. And it seemed clear, not just from our reporting, but from other reports as well, that Rick Santorum had all the buzz. Well, it turns out you could buy the CPAC straw poll. Now, how do you do that? As Politico, among others, is reporting, what you do is you register more people. You buy registrations for people. And New York Times is reporting that Mitt Romney actually bussed people in from universities across the East Coast. He bussed them in, bought them registration for the conference, just so they could vote for Mitt Romney. Oh, it's such weak sauce. Here's Rick Santorum basically complaining about it, clip 8.
You mentioned twice that you didn't pay for votes in these caucuses, so I have to go back to, do you have any, someone clearly is telling you that they think Mitt Romney's team, at least, paid for folks to go and vote for him at the straw poll. And that's what you're saying? That's
standard procedure at all of these straw polls, that campaigns who want to win go out and recruit people and provide free tickets for them to come and vote. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's absolutely a strategy. We just don't think that's a good use of our resources. And but Governor Romney obviously may have a different idea.
Yeah, and by the way, Governor Romney had said that they would not participate in any straw polls in this election season until they were in a panic because Rick Santorum had won the last 3 states. They wanted to show that they had momentum, so they went and bought the CPAC straw poll. So ignored completely. It doesn't mean a damn thing. It is totally bought by Mitt Romney's money. Rick Santorum, rare case here where he's completely right. Now, how about Maine? Well, it turns out in Maine, Ron Paul was expected to do well, and he did do well, but he didn't come in first. Mitt Romney did. Mitt Romney got 39% of the vote. Ron Paul got 36%, and then Santorum 18% and Gingrich 6%. So what happened there? Well, there was a county, Washington County, that apparently had snowfall, and so they decided that they were not going to be included in the count, the final count, when they announced the Maine caucus results. Now, Ron Paul's team thought that was curious and sent out an email to supporters saying this. In Washington County, where Ron Paul was incredibly strong, the caucus was delayed until next week just so the votes wouldn't be reported by the national media today. Of course, their excuse for the delay was snow. That's right, a prediction of 3 to 4 inches that turned into nothing more than a dusting was enough for a local GOP official to postpone the caucuses just so the results wouldn't be reported tonight. This is Maine we're talking about. This is my favorite part of the quote. Quote, the Girl Scouts had an event today in Washington County that wasn't canceled, and just the votes of Washington County would have been enough to put us over the top. Now, that is an email to Ron Paul supporters. Now, look, I don't know if Ron Paul is right that he would have definitely won Washington County and it would have affected the entire outcome of who won Maine. Maybe we'll find out when Washington County votes in about a week. But it is curious that they decided to announce the results even though they had a dusting in Washington County in the middle of winter in Maine, and apparently that was enough to cancel that caucus event. I mean, I'm not saying Ron Paul is right about this. I am saying it is curious. And it's interesting how all of a sudden, look at these things that wind up helping Mitt Romney. He wins the CPAC thing, and he wins the Maine caucuses, at least for now, while they've announced partial results, and the national media gets to talk about Mitt Romney's momentum. Funny how these things happen. So is Romney doing his best to, do shenanigans here to get momentum back for his campaign by any means necessary? It certainly appears so.